The month of July 2024, Aries, is a lot about your money, and there's some positive, exciting momentum there. Thanks to Lord Mars, the ruler of your sign. We're going to dive into this money story for you, as well as many other things that are occurring during the month of July 2024. So let's get rolling as we go through the details of this month ahead. And by the way, are you new to my channel? Welcome. My name is Lori Lothian, and I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac, whole sign houses. I love the fixed stars and minor asteroids, which I include in all of my content every single month. So please give me a shot, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and let's get rolling and talk about your sky. Well, the first thing is that Mars is going to be in Taurus, as he has been since June the 9th. With Mars in Taurus, he's focused on your finances. And this is an important time for you because he's only here once every 2 years. Mars in Taurus through to about July 21st continues to push you into new frontiers financially. I think some of you might end up quitting jobs or changing the way you make money. Others may drive ambition and willpower their way to new success stories financially. And while sometimes with Mars in your second house, you might find yourself spending more than you usually do, it's nothing to worry about because Mars moving through here as an ally for you will always find you new resources. The spending may be indeed investing or spending money that is going to later lead to greater success stories financially. So don't get too nail biting about money going out because money will indeed come in, especially after the 21st of July. When Mars moves into the next sign of Gemini and those 6 weeks that follow, you can expect those financial flow rewards to come to you. Now, when I do these videos, I always break down the details of the month ahead, bit by bit, date by date. So we're going to do the chronological look at the sky. I will not talk in any great detail about the Leo new moon and the Aquarius full moon because I do full moon and new moon videos on my own channel, and therefore you can subscribe and catch those videos each single month for all signs. One thing I want to talk about to begin is planetary ingress changes. Let's start there, and then we'll roll into the calendrical version of this month. Okay, first of all, it is an important month when Mars changes signs, when you're in Aries rising, because you're ruled by him. So we want to talk about that right away and just get into the gist of it. Having Mars moving through the sign of Taurus for you since June 9th. It's like being a bulldozer, right? You're bulldozing through new territory, you're pioneering, you're boldly going where you haven't gone before, you're using some drive and ambition and will in order to change your financial circumstances. And sometimes that can be about eliminating waste in your spending. Sometimes it's conjuring up a new job. Sometimes it's quitting the job that's exhausting you to find something new. So all of that has been and continues to go on. And then on July let me check my notes, because I don't have it memorized. You guys, you're always the first sign to go, and I never know what I'm going to say. We were here a minute ago. Here we are. Yeah, so then on July 21st, Mars moves into Gemini, and he'll be there till September the 5th. So it's this traditional 6 weeks or so in a sign. And that's going to be a very interesting time because everything he's been doing since June the 9th in your second house of money will begin to bear fruit as he moves more directly forward in Gemini, the sign over. Second from your second is the fruit bearing or rewards time for this story. So you can expect to see some greater financial flow in third house matters and just some greater success in third house matters as well during his July 21st to September 5th transit. So the last week of July, short distance travel, skills-based learning, online social media success, website development, writing and communicating are all super passionate, super focused, and super driven, thanks to Mars moving through that part of your sky. Now, what about Mercury and what about Venus? They're always moving somewhere in the sky, fast-moving inner planets. So first of all, Mercury until July 2nd will be in Cancer. And so just as we approach the July 4th weekend, you're still seeing that energy of Mercury in the sign of Cancer, opening up the possibility for you of some kind of, I want to describe that by making sure I look at what else is happening with that, some kind of movement or discussion or conversations going on in and about your home life. Now, honestly, sometimes Mercury down here is really good at negotiating deals. So through till July 2nd, this was going on since June, you might be finishing up a rental contract, an agreement with a buying or selling a property, or just having a lot of social time and conversation conversations in and from your home. But then we move past that. And as we move into July 4th weekend, Mars is moving into the fun house. So you may experience your July 4th as one of the most sociable and engaged and fun times in a very, very long time. He likes to converse, party, and chat up a storm when he's in a very entertaining and entertainment-oriented place like your fifth house. You might have a lot of conversations with your children. You might have a lot of a deep and profound and fun conversations with a partner, like a lover or a romantic partner. And it's a good time for dating. When Mercury is in your fifth house and you're a singleton, you might want to go on a few dates, and you might find them actually really enjoyable. I've often seen people do things like join an online dating app when Mercury goes through their fifth house, so they can communicate, socialize, and meet with new potential love partners. So the dates to watch for on this Mercury transit, therefore, just to give you the lay of the land, he moves into your, let me double check that. Yes, of course, that's right, Aries. He moves into your fun space of having parties and having a good time on July 3rd, and he leaves on July the 26th. Anything you're doing in that window of time to do with creativity, entrepreneurship, inspiration, and the muse will be blessed. You'll have a lot of luck. It can give you some strength when it comes to games of chance and winning. And by that, I mean, yes, the lottery or the casino or any kind of way that you're going to go win some money. So you might want to buy those lottery tickets or go with the guys or the girls to the casino just for fun. Don't take astrological advice and bet your life on it. But it could be a very lucky window of time, July the 3rd to the 26th, in terms of being able to win money. And the fifth house is called the house of good fortune for a reason. It includes good financial fortune. Then you might have news about your children as well, because Mercury is in the house of your children. So information, news coming in and through emails, phone calls, and texts applying to children, or a lot of communicating, writing, and emailing with a romantic partner as well. On July 27th to the 31st, Mercury is going to be in the sign of Virgo, which is his home kingdom, and that's your sixth house. And your sixth house has to do with work and health matters. Now, it sounds like he's there for a short time, but that's not true. That's where he is there in the month of July. He's basically going to be moving into the sign of Virgo and then retrograding back to Leo. So it's a complicated narrative, and you're going to have to subscribe to my channel to get more details on that. But on August 13th, he will be sliding into into Leo again. So, and then back and forth out of Leo. So let's just say this, in general, July 27th to July 31st, and you can even extend that to August the 13th, you're going to be really busy with very practical, contractual details to do with work matters. This is often like when Mercury's in your sixth house, you might be, doing a lot of marketing or selling, or you might be connecting to the colleagues and coworker space more aggressively, or you might be even finalizing details that are contractual, like getting a new pet because the sixth house is pets, or a rental contract, finalizing deals on a rental property as a landlord or a leasee. So all of those are very likely to be occurring in your story sometime between July 27th and August 13th. And there'll be more of that later on as the retrograde turnaround happens and he comes back to your part of your sky again. All right, so those are the planetary narratives. Now, Jupiter, of course, is moving through the sign of Gemini. Jupiter will be there as long as June the 9th or 10th, depends on your time zone next year. And this endograss of Jupiter through the sign of Gemini just continues on. And that's your beautiful third house of short distance travel, skills-based education, siblings, writing projects. If you are an Aries with a writing project that you really want to accomplish, this is your ideal time to have the luck and the beneficence and the kind of like the super powered, magnanimous Jupiterian impulse to succeed. So when you want to write something anytime between now and next June, and whether it's a book, an article, a blog, or to really get an excessive increase in your marketing, your outreach, your social media outreach, that kind of stuff, you're pretty well blessed. And Jupiter is going to be doing some really sweet stuff this month ahead when we break it down bit by bit in the sky. Now, before we go into the chronological breakdown of the sky, I want to show you my beautiful earrings that I'm wearing. These are an amazing pair because they match the dress that I bought in Lisbon at a vintage shop by my friend Milena Devi, and she has a great website, that I'm putting in the link below. So you want to go check out all of her collection. And these are one-of-a-kind custom-made jewelry. She uses porcelain, metal, fabrics. You're seeing fabric here. And so she's an artist, and you might want to go check some of her jewelry out. I'm sharing her during the videos this month. And the only other promotion I have to share with you is my Sky Reader course is starting in September. The enrollment card opens in August, but please make sure you're in the early bird discount wait list, because not only do you get early bird discounts to enroll, but you're going to get a bunch of other early perks by being on that list, so that when I open the enrollment tuition card in the early part of August for September's 6-week class, To Be Your Own Astrologer and Time Your Best Life, you're right on the ball and you're ready to roll with me. All right, so let's get going and let's break the sky down bit by bit as the month ahead is ongoing. So I'm kind of laughing because I almost forgot to tell you about what Venus is doing this month ahead. And that's like a big deal story too. I mean, Venus is in Cancer from June the 16th to about July the 11th. And so the first couple of weeks of July, you still feel that Venus in Cancer narrative moving through your world. Well, Venus in Cancer is very nurturant. She likes her pleasures that are cozy and safe and at home. And that's your fourth house. So, you having this kind of Venus cozy up vibe, June the 16th, all the way through to July the 11th, the first 2 weeks, means that you want to have beauty, pleasure, fun, joy, and enjoyment in and from your home. That's basically what it is. And so many of you might find that your home life is extremely nurturant and satisfying. That, or you're visiting with women in their homes, or you're in your own home having a female guest. Those kinds of stories can be playing out. And if you want to redecorate, redesign, repaint your home, having Venus in the sign of Cancer in your fourth house is ideal. So you may have been considering those types of things June 16th through to July the 11th. Now, on July the 12th to August the 5th, so the second half of July, Venus is moving through Leo in her queenly entitled diva status. That means you're going to be having romantic times. If you are single, I encourage you between July the 12th and August the 5th to go on a few dates. And don't forget, we have Mercury in Leo co-present with her July 3rd to the 26th. So your ideal dating, socializing, fun, flirty time really will be July 3rd to the 26th, because not only is Mercury there, but so is Venus. When Venus is in your fifth house, if you're creative or artistic, you're on steroids, creative and artistic. But if you're somebody who can have a child, like a female egg bearer, as they say, or a man with a woman and you guys could get pregnant together, then that's your pregnancy fertility window. Venus is a ovum and sperm type goddess. She's moving through a fertility, procreativity, and creativity house, which she does every year. And this is between July the 12th to August the 5th this year. If you want to make a baby, and that's a part of your agenda, go for it. Now, if you meet somebody under this transit, you're likely going to really fall for the person, especially with Mercury there. So this could be a very positive time for you of a new relationship beginning. And if you're already in a relationship, Aries, then this is just going to increase your sexual sizzle, romance, and it's going to bring a lot of fun and joy to you in that relationship. July the 12th to August the 5th. Get ready to rock and roll in bed and in fun and play with the one you love. And good things can happen in and for your children, because your children are in this house as well. Now, let's talk all about the breakdown of the sky bit by bit. For some reason, you Aries are the least likely to watch my videos. Now, I'm hoping this mic is giving us some good quality sound, because I'm on the road and I'm having a hard time calibrating by holding a mic. I just don't have a desktop stand here. So on July the 1st to the 3rd, Venus will trine Saturn. Now, Venus in a trine to Saturn is love is enduring and love is lasting. Money is solid. Money is lucky. These kinds of vibes are happening July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Venus is in the watery place of Cancer, fourth house of home and real estate. Well, Saturn is moving through the sign of Pisces, watery Pisces and watery Cancer. Basically, it's also really good for money from foreign places and foreign lands. It's also good for backroom deals or negotiations to do with real estate and property matters, or real estate and property matters that are successfully underway, connected to foreigners, foreign places, and foreign lands. So I think you're really going to enjoy that vibe for sure. And it can mean love and romance with a foreigner or in a far off shore, or sometimes through travel to a distant location. But with Venus anchoring your fourth house, a lot of this seems more to me to be close to home and involving endurance, Saturn, energy from somebody else or someplace else abroad or in a far off shore of some sort. When we look at that same window of time, July 1st to the 3rd, though, I want to mention one more thing. So write this down. Mercury trines Neptune at the very same time. And that is wonderful energy. We'll look at that as Mercury in your fourth house with Venus flowing to Neptune, your dream home opportunity, your dream foreign shore opportunity. If you make money from home, like you're a self-employed person like I am, and you connect to borderless international revenue, Mercury is flowing to Neptune in the 12th, while Venus is flowing to Saturn in the 12th, all from your fourth house. This is lovely, good news about home from foreigners or connection to borderless international revenue really picking up for you around the July 4th weekend, July 1st to the 3rd. On July the 4th, Mars is into an action story for us. Now, remember, Mars is moving through Taurus, and it's your second house of earnings. And all of a sudden, on July the 4th, he's going to make a flowing relationship called a sextile to Saturn in the house of that long distance international income and revenue. So for some of you, this is definitely a financial positivity where your money looks more solid and the perseverance and effort you put into something is going to pay off. Mercury, when he's in a flow to Saturn, is always about perseverant, dedicated, forbearance and actions that take effort in a very steady way. And so your ability to effort things into being in the area of your finances around July 4th, give or take 2 days before and after, is exceptional. So go with it. We look at July the 8th and see that Mercury will sextile Jupiter. This is commercial success quite often, but also positive, lucky news and communications on July the 8th. Mercury has moved at this point into your fifth house, and that makes it Leo. And that's all about your money luck and your good fortune and your winnings. If you're going to win money, yes, kind of the time to think about it. It says Mercury is in your fifth house at the time, and he does sextile Jupiter, the god of luck, in the third house. This would be maybe winning money in something local, the local lottery, something local, because, your local environment is where Jupiter is sitting. But today our virtual online neighborhoods can be there. So maybe it's an online ticket as well. There may be some very good news coming through about one of your children. It may be some kind of opportunity here for a short distance travel that feels fortunate or lucky around July the 8th. And if you want to learn something and sign up for a course, or you're trying to get accepted into some kind of educational setting, this is a super lucky break around July the 8th. Always give or take a couple of days on either side. At the same time, Venus is sextiling Uranus. We're talking about July the 8th, and that's a surprise, a love and money surprise. Maybe. But what Venus is doing from watery Cancer, she's still in your fourth house around this time, is she's giving you an unexpected positive surprise financially connected to something you're doing in and from your home. It's that simple. Let me know what it is. I'd love to hear about what Venusian love and money surprise. It's either a love surprise or a money surprise in and from and close to home. Now, Venus is going to come into a difficult aspect called an opposition on July the 12th as she slides into the 0 degrees of Leo, opposite Pluto in your 11th house. This can be a very big tension moment with a friend in one of your larger social groups, or a very big tension moment regarding an elder sibling. If it's neither of those, and there's not that kind of conflict going on, you may be dealing with some kind of situation that is pitting a powerful person in your life, like a friend, like a colleague, like a coworker in your 11th house, Pluto, against one of your children, against something that you're doing in your love and romance house, against one pleasure you really want to engage in. And unfortunately, when Pluto and Venus are in a negative aspect pattern like this, it's often to do with jealousy, betrayal, obsession, the darker sides of toxic love, like Britney Spears' Toxic. And so, look for toxic love stories involving those themes, unfortunately looking like they're spiking a bit for you around July the 12th. On July the 14th and the 15th, Mars, your guy, is conjuncting Uranus. He hasn't done this since August of 2022. Now, he can do this every 2 years, but in the sign of Taurus, it was last happening in the 1930s. So you've got to recognize some of the rarity about this Mars synodic cycle. I'll be doing a separate video. Having Mars conjunct Uranus means surprise, shock, or excitement or exhilaration from sky god Uranus in your second house of earnings, resources, and finances, and Mars. Change, new directions. Sometimes endings, cutting something off. So sudden shock as you quit your job, sudden surprises as you change direction in your finances. It doesn't have to be negative. I really want to reinforce that. People are always afraid of astrology, don't be, because at the very same time this conjunction is happening, you're going to have a sextile forming anyway from Lord Venus as she moves into Leo. In other words, there's a mitigating, tempering a condition that keeps us from being just a ghastly sense of, oh my God, what just happened, right? So I don't want you to get too nervous about it. I wouldn't if I were you, but keeping in mind that Uranus is the unexpected, and I'm an astrologer trying to give you what it means. July 14th and 15th, expect the unexpected at 26 degrees of Taurus, while Venus is in a whole sign flow from Leo, kind of softening the blow or mitigating the intensity of this conjunction. Knowing that you also have this kind of picture of some financial surprise, Mercury, the god of news and information, is in the sign of Leo. And did I say sextiling? I apologize. Venus is not sextiling. Venus and Mercury are in Leo, squaring this. So unexpected, but still Venus is a benefic. Information, news, to do with financial matters, basically, that really do connect to some way, to something that needs to change. I want to say Mars is the god of change, right? People often think of him as simply the god of war, but he was the change agent of ancient Mesopotamian astrology. Uranus didn't exist, for example, so as a known entity. So what are you going to be changing? What is going to shift in your reality as it comes to matters to do with your relationship to your children, your sexuality, and your love and romance, because of Mercury and Venus both in a broad square from your fifth house? The change angle here definitely looks like some shifts there. If you're a creative artist, entrepreneur, that kind of thing, there can be also those sorts of changes. And I don't want to discount the fact that Venus and Mercury in your house of good fortune are positive. And the surprise might be positive. You may, square be damned, be winning money. So I'm looking at the possibility, therefore, to say, if you are in a lottery or playing to win and all that stuff, know your limit, play within it, July 12th, 3 days before and after, could produce some financial gains for you. So keep that in mind. Now, I would even say that is true. I want you to really listen to this until Mars leaves the sign of Taurus, so that you could still count on this afterglow from the Uranian impact, where you could have some unexpected financial surprises in a positive way coming through from the fifth house of good fortune. And Mars will not move into Gemini, or the next sign, until July 21st. So look for those opportunities. Now, next, we're going to talk about your next story, which is Mars conjunct Sun sextile Uranus. It's the same kind of thing. What's the surprise about? What is unexpectedly going to show up? The Sun is in your fourth house of home, property, land, and real estate. It's also your private life and what you're doing in and from your home. And there's a good financial surprise coming in and about and from your home. So let's see what that looks like for you. When we move forward, we see July 21st and the 22nd, Mars has slipped into the sign of Gemini, your third house. And he's going to form a trine to Pluto, while at the same time sextiling Neptune. Now, when I say July 21st and 22nd, it can be a little bit after this that Mars delivers the results. But what I would say you're going to see, my humble opinion, and I could be wrong, is some kind of good fortune. The house of pennies from heaven and windfalls, a house of good luck, in the sense that it's a karmic reward that is overdue, a karmic dividend, is where Pluto sits in Aquarius in your 11th house of good spirit. And the flow of energy to the part of the sky that is Gemini, where Mars is traveling, is also blessed by Lord Jupiter, the god of luck, who's already sitting in that part of your sky. So there's some positive flow in a part of the sky that can represent relational energies, 11 3 comma houses, but also a travel opportunity unexpectedly with and for a friend, some financial opportunity that looks like a windfall or a larger gain in your career financially. Those are all looking very alive for you. But when I talk about July 21 and 22, I also notice that the sextile to Neptune can indicate some positive developments regarding foreign places, foreign lands, international shores, and revenue generated from those places as well. And then at the very same time on July 21 and 22, that Mars is flowing to Neptune and trining Pluto from Gemini, you're also going to find that Mercury squares Uranus. That's a little bit of news that shocks or surprises you that you may not particularly like at first, because all squares demand action and decisions and somewhat a sense of urgency with Uranus. So there may be some kind of surprise as Mercury in Leo, which is your 5th house, which is about your children, your lover, your sexuality, your romance, your creativity, your entrepreneurial business, your fun, play, and pleasure, that Mercury, the god of the news cycle, squares Uranus in the house of your financial life, right? So unexpected financial matters sort of jolting you a bit around July 21st and 22nd, but I'm not all that worried about it with Jupiter involved in his trine to Pluto. Jupiter trine Pluto is power and wealth energy. So the surprise as a square just might demand action and decisions, very quick, fast moving action and decisions that you must make around July 21st and 2nd that may involve financial matters, may involve creative matters, may involve matters to do with your children or your romantic life or your entrepreneurial business if you have one. Alrighty. The last thing happening at the end of the month, by the way, is July 24th to the 28th. There's an ongoing Sun sextile Mars. Yay, Mars. And that's ongoing because Mars is moving at the same pace as the Sun, which is quite rare. So we have Mars moving through Gemini. You want to take decisions, actions. You want to make changes. You want to maybe travel. Mars loves to travel. And July 24th to the 28th, he's in a travel house. So you may be unexpectedly traveling here, or just expectedly, I don't know, July 24th to the 28th. But the sextile to the Sun in Leo means travel for romance, travel with children, travel that brings joy, play, and pleasure and vitality. It can also be July 24th to the 28th, a time of great fun socializing with neighbors, neighborhood people in the local environment, and you're doing a lot of action, activity in the local environment, in the fishbowl in which you swim, your daily environment, your neighbor's neighborhood, and all of that. If you want to teach a class, okay, or if you want to learn from a teacher, this is an ideal time to take action, to aggressively pursue the course or to take the course with a lot of passion. July 24th to the 28th, particularly if it's a path of study or learning or teaching that's involving either creativity, entrepreneurship, or a natural gift or talent that you may possess if you're learning. If you're a teacher like I am, then possibly July 24th to the 28th, I'll have some kind of course that I want to teach. And I don't have anything planned now, but for goodness sakes, maybe I'll be launching a mini course. All right. So thanks, Aries, for listening. I hope that makes sense for you. We do have a moon this month, but we're not going to go into detail, but we will have an August 4th. Did I say August 4th? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong month. We do have a new moon and we do have a full moon in the month of July. I'm just going to briefly let you know where they are, and you can subscribe to my channel to get the details. So on July the 5th, just after July 4th holidays, we're going to see that new moon in Cancer. And that's going to be a new beginning to do with home, property, land, and real estate that can unfold not only 2 weeks after, but up to 6 months after that new beginning, new moon, where we have a blue moon or a second full moon in a month in Capricorn. And that blue moon Capricorn moon is going to happen on the 21st of July. And yes, you remember that's a hot spot in the sky if your memory serves you. And I was giving you this energy of your 12th house, by the way, foreign shores, foreign lands, self-undoing addictions, revenue generated from far off places, all of that. That is a full Capricorn moon happening while we have that Mars trine Pluto for wealth. So it's not even a bad sky, but there's something coming to fulfillment or fullness in your 12th house yet again. Really good for enlightenment stories as well. Thanks, Aries, for listening. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this video if you don't mind, and let others know about the astrology stories that I love to tell. We're using the Western Tropical Zodiacal sign houses. Thank you. And I will see you. Don't forget, check out Melena's earrings. And you think you'll really like them. They're in the description box below, the link to her sales page and her selection of handcrafted one-of-a-kind jewelry. Ciao, ciao.